May 14th, 2015. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 72 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting next to me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
Your brother went to Harrah's, North Kansas City.
Right.
And you told a story about how initially it looked like maybe they were paying him off in $1,199 increments to avoid W-2Gs. And after talking with him more, it sounds like that's not really what happened. And one thing we didn't mention on the last episode, though, was when you originally told the story, you said that at one point he hit some kind of bonus.
Right.
And the machine automatically printed out a voucher. He didn't cash out.
Right.
Just the machine suddenly printed one out.
A voucher. Right.
And we were curious as to how that could have happened. Well, we got an email from listener Jim, and listen to what he has to say. In New Jersey and Pennsylvania, there is a game regulation that any balance on a machine cannot exceed $3,000. A win that is under $1,200, but that would cause the credits on the machine to exceed $3,000, immediately causes a cash-out voucher to be printed for that win amount. Okay, so probably what happened, if this was the case in Kansas City, right, was that your brother hit some kind of bonus under $1,200, not a W-2G, jackpot.
Right. Yeah, I think he said one was like $500 or $600.
Yeah. That put his credits on the machine over $3,000.
Right.
And so it printed out the voucher. Yeah.
That could very well be. We'd have to look at the laws in Kansas City, but
I tried to look real quick just today. I couldn't find anything about it. But again, Jim gives an example here. For example, I have $2,900 in a Miss Kitty slot machine. I play $4 the next spin and hit a bonus. The bonus round pays $500. When the bonus round ends, the credit on the machine now exceeds $3,000, so a ticket is immediately printed out for the $500 bonus win. So again, he's talking about how this is New Jersey and Pennsylvania. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if this is exactly what happened to your brother.
Could be.
Yeah.
And why would that be? I mean, why did New Jersey and Pennsylvania pick $3,000?
Oh, that's a really good question. Yeah.
I mean, is that all slot machines? I mean, is that
apparently
a $25 machine, coin-in machine or something?
It would have to be, right? Unless you made a special
law. Seemed like you'd be
for
getting a lot
limit.
of vouchers.
But yeah, this was slots, video poker, any machine, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. So Jim's email goes on to a different subject here, one related to what we talked about last week about, hey, how come you don't have, kind of mundane, practical jackpot prizes on the slots? Like after we recorded the last episode, our garage door opener went out.
Yep.
So I was hoping
to win a garage door opener.
Specifically win a garage door opener.
They have them in different sizes or, different strengths depending on the size of your door.
That's right. And the size of your bet.
Right. And the size of your bet. Right.
So
I need to bet $100. I need the big garage door opener.
That's right. We've got a heavy garage door. It's one of the old ones.
Yeah.
Well, so Jim was talking about that. He said, remember in Mesquite, Nevada, Dr. Mike saw the fabulous prizes he would be able to redeem his Players Club points for, such as a pack of premium cigarettes or a coffee mug.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had some doozies.
He says there has to be small casinos out there that have some home appliances as prizes. He says, I do remember it was either at Foxwood or Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. They offered home/office cleaning service for a year when a certain slot machine was hit as part of a spring cleaning promotion.
Oh, that's a good prize.
That's actually a pretty good prize. Yeah.
I would take that over the cash value, really. Clean my house for a year?
That's right. Yeah. He also said at Venetian Palazzo, he saw slot machines that offer a massage/spa package as the top jackpot.
See, now that I don't like.
No.
Because first of all, you got to stop cleaning and go get your massage. Stop cleaning. Stop playing.
Stop playing. Well, are you the one who was offering the spring cleaning?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to offer that at Harrah's, Southern California. If you let me win, I'll clean your house.
Dr. Mike will clean your house.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to stop playing to go get a massage or spa package. Hopefully there's like a cash prize.
Usually there's a cash prize. Yeah, I wouldn't go for that either. That's not my kind of thing.
That.
And then Jim finishes, or casinos can take a hint from MGM, I think in reference to the lion's share machine. You hit the jackpot, you take the slot machine home.
Now, see, I like that.
He says there are so many old and outdated reels still out there and so many new themed machines making their way into casinos.
That would be great.
The only problem is that each individual state has pretty specific rules about what kind of slot machine you can own.
Right.
I didn't look it up today, but I think California, it has to be a certain age. It's got to be like 20 or 30 years old. Machine. Yeah, it has to be an older machine. Yeah. So,
well, it'd still be great to bring a slot machine home.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Rig it up so your friends can come over and gamble at your house.
That's what that's what I'll do. I'll hook one up and then I'll say, yeah, we're playing poker at 6 when I really plan on playing at 7.
Right.
And then, oh, sorry guys, I got to do something upstairs. I'll be down in about an hour. And then all they have to do is play the machine.
And you being a computer guy, you've already rigged it. It's got like a 42% payback. Or
That's right. That's right. It's just a one shot. I know they're not going to play it again. So take advantage of them when I've got them. Yeah, exactly.
That you've hit on the secret. Invite poor poker players who like to play slots.
No, I invite rich poker players.
Rich bad poker players.
Bad poker players who like to play slots.
Hey, that's me.
That's Las Vegas.
That's Las Vegas.
But on the same theme, we got another email from Jordan. He sent us a promotion that was just started. It's actually going on still here in May at the Prairie Meadows Casino Racetrack in Iowa for a Dyson vacuum.
Yeah, the funny thing is the one they show here is the one we have.
Oh, yeah?
We have this one, yeah.
Nice. Well, it's not like it's a jackpot on a slot. It's actually when you play during the month of May, you gain entries into the drawing. Oh. And then at the end of the month, they give away 5 vacuums.
5 lucky winners.
5 lucky winners. So, play as much as you can in May. Try to win that vacuum.
This is the thing I'd win. Not the $1 million at Harrah's.
No.
Or the $50,000 at the end of the month. No, I'd win the vacuum cleaner.
Well, that's something.
Yeah, well, I'd actually be happy. We love our Dyson.
Oh, it says here, win the Dyson vacuum or cash. What do you think the cash alternative is?
I'll tell you, they cost about...
Those are expensive vacuums.
Oh, yeah, they're like $700, $600, something like that.
So maybe $300.
Probably $300
in free play.
Yeah. Right, in free play.
It says cash. So, and we got a call too from listener Adam with another one of these giveaways.
Hey, Mark, Dr. Mike, Adam in Kansas calling in. I was listening to the most recent show, and you're talking about winning a washer and dryer or something at the slot machines, and reminded me of one of the casinos here in Kansas. It was, I think it was Sack and Fox or Golden Eagle, one of the 2 smaller casinos, was having a giveaway for a riding lawnmower. All the old people around here ate that up. So just thought I'd give you a call and let you know that there are some places that are giving away not Lamborghinis. All right, see ya.
Funny thing about that is, remember, it was a while back, and I want to say it was Golden Nugget, maybe, in Vegas. It was one of the casinos I got a flyer. You might have got the same one. And it was like a Sears thing, but Sears was giving away Sears products. One of them was a riding lawnmower. One of them was a snowblower.
Really?
Remember that?
I don't know if I do.
Yeah, it was it was towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
And I was laughing because, that's what I want, the snowblower. I live in San Diego, and a riding lawnmower, we can't even grow grass here because, it was like nothing that interested me. But, if you were coming from back east, I guess, I don't know.
I just hope this riding lawnmower giveaway was actually attached to a bank of slots and they had it spinning above the blank, kind of at an angle, kind of tilted. It's just spinning real slow.
How about
around
the blades rotating
the blades
right above
moving real slow. Or it's full speed.
Yeah.
Maybe it's spinning real slow, the whole thing, but then the blades are going full blast.
It's really, it's really loud.
Trying to play the slots right above your head.
The dealer who's dealing like blackjack a few feet away has got this pounding headache because all night long he hears this lawnmower. Yeah, that'd be good.
Well, remember a few years back, we actually got this was a flyer. It was a mailer.
Yeah, it was a mailer.
We got this in the mail for, come this certain night at Harrah's and we'll give you a 12-pack of Pepsi.
I liked it.
It was a mailer.
All the people walking around the casino with 12 packs of Pepsi. It was so funny. All these people 12 packs of Pepsi.
I mean, it's a good enough, if they give it to you for free. I mean, okay, well, I'll take some soda. But the fact that they actually sent out a mailer to lure people in.
The mailer costs more than the 12 pack of soda.
Exactly, just the postage.
You know what's funny is they should do that. Casinos, give us what we need, not what we want.
Right.
We want Lamborghinis, but what we really need is a 12 pack of Pepsi.
Right, maybe a bag of rice.
Yeah, a bag of rice.
Like that. Exactly.
I'll tell you a funny story real quick. I was at the chiropractor for my back, and he's telling me about his ex-wife who goes out to one of our local casinos here, Sequan. Mm-hmm. And she was having financial problems. So their daughter was trying to square away her finances, and she was going through her bank statements, and she was taking out of her bank account about $5,000 a month at Sequan.
Ugh.
Playing slots.
Yeah.
Right? And he went on to tell me that she's got a pension, and it's about $5,000 a month. So she's using all of her pension money for gambling.
Yeah.
And she wasn't paying her water bill and electric bill and stuff like that. She was getting herself into trouble.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I mean, they talked to her, and they even talked to Saquon, and I don't know what happened, but the funny part is he was telling me that the daughter was saying, well, she doesn't have a house payment because the house is paid off, but she's using all of her pension gambling. How's she eating?
Well, is he paying alimony?
No. This is,
okay. All right.
She's 70 years old.
Okay. All right.
The daughter was concerned about her being able to eat.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, don't worry. She's at the casino. They're feeding her. They're probably giving her giveaways and clothing her. She's losing $5,000 a month.
That's right. She can shower at the spa.
Yeah, right. She's probably got everything taken care of.
Yep.
Probably doesn't even need the house anymore.
That's good.
Give her room. So.
All right. So there's a positive example of the casino giving somebody what they need.
What they need. Exactly.
Nice. Well, we did talk last episode too about how it seems like we don't see cars as giveaways so much anymore.
Not as much.
And I don't know, maybe we just aren't looking for them because we actually got quite a few responses from listeners about,
the thing is, there's very rarely a car on top of a craps table.
It's pretty unusual.
Yeah, it's pretty unusual. And when there is, we notice it. Other than that, we don't notice much going on unless it's a nude person.
That's nude.
That we pay attention to.
Why? Yeah, it's true. It's true. We're in a casino. Oh, they've got slot machines here, Mike. Have you ever noticed these? Yeah. Well, they're everywhere.
What's that BUFFET thing?
I can't even pronounce it. Well, Greg on Twitter, he actually mentioned a few places, at least in Las Vegas, where they have cars very visibly, out front.
Displayed.
He said at Mandalay Bay, they've got a Corvette. He's seen a Mustang Cobra at Four Queens.
Yeah.
They've got a Maserati at Green Valley Ranch. I guess that's relatively new. And this is funny. He told us about this, and I actually noticed it the other night and forgot to tell you. Up here in Southern California, there's this BMW. It's an all-electric BMW.
We go there every week, and I've never noticed
Mike, it's right when you get off the elevators. And
we focused on getting to the cage, getting my money, and getting to the craps table.
It's right as you get off the elevators from the parking garage. So we walk by it every single time.
That's so funny.
There, yeah.
That's so funny. Well, I'll tell you what, though. Really? Do you want a Maserati or a Corvette or an all-electric BMW? That's trouble. Those things are trouble.
Oh, yeah.
They should be giving away is like a minivan, a Dodge Dart.
Right.
I'd like a Suburban.
Yeah, you get like a 2004 Suburban, maybe.
Yeah, something I can use, right? A truck I can haul stuff in. That's what they should give away. Because these things, seriously, if I won this electric BMW, I'm taking the cash.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, why would you want an electric BMW?
I bet you if you went to some local casinos in Las Vegas, if they're giving away cars, they are more practical.
Yeah.
Right? They're not the touristy kind of attraction.
I mean, a Maserati, it'd be fun to drive.
Sure.
But I don't know if I'd want to drive that to work every day.
Well, just the insurance and then, the upkeep and everything.
Everything.
Terrible. Yeah. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, when you're going to buy something through Amazon, go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link at the top of the page. That way, when you make a purchase, we get a little kickback that helps cover the costs of hosting the show, and it doesn't cost you a thing. You'll pay the same price just like normal. Hey, let's take a few more phone calls here. Don't forget, call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
And we'll probably play your clip on the show. First, let's hear from Ben.
Hey guys, this is Ben from Minneapolis. I just wanted to say I'm a new listener. Now that you've joined up with the Vegas Internet Mafia, very excited to
listened to your show and love the work that I've heard so far. Went back and listened to your show from last NIM where you hit the fire bet. Congrats. That was pretty damn exciting just to listen to. So I have a question for you. I'm a craps player, love playing. However, I don't really feel comfortable losing more than about $500 per session. I like to spread my money out. I like to play for a long weekend in Vegas, but my kind of risk of ruin number is about 500. It starts to get a little tight if I lose more than that in one sitting. I was wondering if you guys could kind of help with some strategy, maybe some money management tips, some ways of playing. I'm a big fan of just playing the pass line and the odds, and then maybe one or two or three if I'm feeling saucy come bets. But any advice would be appreciated. Love the show so far. Looking forward to listening to a long time and maybe seeing you at VIMS. Take care.
Okay, good. So, Ben, you're already taking the best wagers on the table for money management.
And that's probably the best thing to do as far as money management.
Yeah. Pass line and come bets. Here's what I would say. If you're talking about, not wanting to lose more than $500 in a session, if you're playing in Las Vegas, if you can find a $5 table, that would be the best thing to do. $5 or less. Because even at a $5 table, if you're playing like 3, 4, 5 times odds, you should last on $500 for a while, even taking full odds.
Quite a while.
Right,
yeah.
right. But as soon as you jump up to $10, even with 3, 4, 5 odds, I'm not talking about like 10 times odds or places like that. But if you're doing $10 and you're taking full odds, say 1 pass line and 2 come bets, you can go through 500 quickly. I mean,
you can have 500 on the table, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
Well,
if you're
pretty darn close.
But yeah, think about it.
If you had 10 and 50.
Yeah.
Right. And you got another 10 and 50. There's $120, right?
Right.
And if you get 2 more numbers of say 10 and 40, that's 5,800. You've got what, 3 something, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're taking that many, I would say, but
if you took 4 numbers,
right? Say you just take 3 numbers. You might only have say 160 out there per shooter, but think about it: 3 bad shooters and you're done.
Right, 3 immediate outs, right?
Well, not immediate outs. You get up to the numbers.
So 3 numbers and out.
So I would say that if you don't have the option of less than $10, then do not take full odds. Now, we've said this before. If you've got the bankroll, we absolutely recommend that you take full odds. But when the table stakes are a certain level, when they're too high, a lot of times people's bankrolls can't handle taking full odds every time.
Yeah. Well, how about this? If it's a $10 table, you take a pass line bet.
Yeah. You
do take full odds.
Yes.
And then if the point is a 6 or an 8, you place the other one. You just place it. Yeah. No come bet.
Right.
And if the point happens to be a 5, then you place the 6 and 8. You got a little more out there.
Yeah.
And you just do that, and you take your chances with that.
Yeah.
Because your place bet's going to be less than if you went through the come.
Right. I agree with you. I think that's a great way to do it.
That'd be a good way to go.
The house edge is higher on the place bets, but again, we're talking about kind of money management here as opposed to long-term results.
Because you're playing for a short term. You're playing for the weekend.
Right.
And you could put, $12 on a 6 or an 8.
Right.
And then have your money on that pass line. And maybe even at $10 table, if the point was 5 or 9, don't take even full odds.
Sure.
Right? Instead of 40, take 20.
Right.
And then place the 6 and 8 for 12 each.
Right. We've talked about it before. If the point is a bad one, say like a 4, yes, that odds bet is still a good bet, but chances are it's going to lose, right? It's going to lose twice as often as it's going to win, right?
Yeah. So lower your odds, take half. Yeah. Remember, I was doing that last week.
Yes.
And I hardly ever do that, but on 4 and 10, I just wanted to make the 2,000 I bought in for last the whole night.
Yep.
So when 4 and 10 came up, I wasn't putting out 3 times. I was putting out 1.5 or 1 times odds. And then I was adding to it as I went.
Yeah.
So, if a number hit, I'd add to the odds.
Yep. Yep.
I'm glad he's from Minnesota too. My wife will be happy about that, being a Minnesota girl.
Yep. Now that's per session. If you are talking about, it sounded like Ben was interested in $500 per session, but let's say you've got $500 for like a whole weekend.
Yeah.
Then you really need to find those low limit tables, $5, the absolute maximum. And even in that case, maybe you should be taking full odds on a pass line bet and then maybe placing the 6 and 8 for $6 each.
Right.
Because honestly, a whole weekend, $500, even playing that way, you could go 500
very easily.
very easily.
Very easily. Yeah. Craps. Yeah. It's a volatile game.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's not like, well, say blackjack or even slots that are, I think, less volatile.
Well, you have multiple bets out there at once, right? And that's the thing is that in blackjack, it's pretty much just one bet.
Just
yeah, you can
bet.
raise your bet and lower it, that kind of thing. But, the scary thing in craps when things are going bad is you usually kind of load up on the table, either right away or through cum bets or whatever. And that 1-7 can just wipe you out. There's nothing really comparable on any
It's my
other
dad's
casino
favorite
game.
saying, right? How come the 7 always comes when we've got everything loaded up?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's part of the game.
Good question.
Yeah, one other thing I think it would be important to mention if you're talking about money management, don't be afraid to leave and walk away.
Yeah, that's true.
When things aren't going so good, and, we tend to overstay our welcome quite a bit.
Yeah.
But if it is going bad, just walk away.
Well, even if it's going well, maybe, stay if it's kind of just
hovering.
But, if you make a big score.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Away,
I think that's even more important. If you make a big score, walk away, take a break, do something else, go to another place.
Yep.
You're probably going to be better off than hanging around. We tend to do that at Harrah's Rincon because there's nowhere else to go.
Right. We hang around there because there's really nowhere else to go. Right.
Boy, the last 3 weekends, I think we've been ahead at one point.
Yeah.
A substantial amount and then stayed around until we either go home losing or go home just barely up.
Right. If we were in Vegas, we would probably say, okay, good, let's stop. Let's go somewhere else.
Right.
And it's like a reset in our minds too. And so maybe we're not as aggressive.
And you put a lot of your cash away and you buy in for less.
Yep.
And then if it goes poorly, you still have some that you kept in your pocket.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's our problem when you're limited. But if you're in Vegas, I would say one of the most important things in money management is walking away.
Yeah. All right, let's hear from Taylor.
Hey, Martin, Dr. Mike. This is Taylor from New Mexico. My girlfriend and I are sitting in Red Rock Casino Cafe, and there's a keno going on here. I had an idea that you guys should have a keno meet up at the D Grill during the event. Like, you don't have to plan anything, just like tweet out and say, hey, we're at the D, and just have like breakfast keno meet up at the breakfast or like a drunken food at late night. I would actually play, except I don't know how to play keno, and same thing with my girlfriend. So I think some people will show up actually. It'd be fun. Maybe you guys can bring back a keno. Well, after these keno lessons over some drunk food. All right, guys. Thanks for your podcast. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Yeah, that would be fun. Just again, like at the D Grill for breakfast, something like that, and just hey, we're gonna be playing keno. Who wants to play? Who wants to learn?
Yeah, learn keno.
Well, I mean, not learn like. Strategies, but like, weigh tickets, and doing that kind of
different
thing.
Kinds of
different
funny
ways
things.
that you can bet that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I like keno. I really do like keno. I'm laughing to myself because remember I told that story. I think I told on one of the podcasts years ago when we went to, all my family went up to, Lake Tahoe. And my daughter picked the keno numbers in the cafe.
Yeah.
Because I have to buy the ticket and everything, but they don't care if the little kid picks the numbers. Right. And it was a 20 spot. And she filled it out, and then I gave it to the waitress, and she's like, oh, there's only 19.
She missed one.
She missed one, right? And then my brother, he's like, oh, take 10. And then they do the things, and 0, if you get 0, it pays $1,000.
Right. If none of your numbers
comes up.
Mm-hmm.
The only number that came up was 10.
Yeah.
And she was and we're like, oh my God, if he had picked any other number, that didn't come up, you would have won. Cause she picked 19 that didn't come up.
Yeah.
He picked the one that came up. And she still to this day tells my brother he owes her $1,000.
Yeah. I stand by that.
Yeah.
I support her in that. Yeah. I'd love to do that when we get to VIMP. And in fact, too, we were also thinking about maybe having like a Craps 101 meetup.
Yeah.
To teach people the game. Because I know there are plenty of, I was looking at the 500 Facebook page, and Taylor had actually posted the question, what have you always wanted to do in Vegas but never have? And a lot of people said craps because they're just, they don't know how to play, right? And it can be intimidating. Yeah. We should just, get a table. Taylor was suggesting we do it at the Downtown Grand when they have the $3 minimums. But I don't think that's going to be going on when we're there over the weekend.
Well, and it might be crowded.
That's the thing, it's crowded.
What you'd really want to do, ideally, it'd be have it real late night or early morning.
I'm thinking in the morning at Golden Nugget, because when you and I were there, they had like 4 or 5 tables open and some were empty, right?
Yeah, that was like 8 a.m. or something, and there were like several empty tables.
Have people there, and, we'll give them a real lesson as opposed to the lessons that they actually provide at the casino. The casino, when they teach the game, they're more interested in getting your money than telling you exactly,
Yeah, I could see at the Nugget, the first thing they tell you, this is the, future bet up here.
Yeah, this is the all small, all tall, and all or nothing at all. This is a very easy wager to make, so make sure you bet that every time, yeah. Taylor called back with another quick call.
Hey guys, it's Taylor from New Mexico. I bet a quinella on 8 and 18. It came in first and third, so I didn't get anything. But it was awesome. Really fun though. Thank you for letting me know about the bet, guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Okay, yeah, that was for the Kentucky Derby. Taylor had posted on Facebook, he actually asked us if there's a wager that you can make where if your horses come in the money, regardless of the order, you win. Uh-huh. And so I told him about the quinella. That's basically a bet where you pick 2 horses, and if they come in first or second place in either order, you win.
It's like 2 exactas.
It's kind of like betting 2 exactas, except the quinella pool, the wagering pool, is completely separate from the exacta pool, right? So, but he bet on the Kentucky Derby and didn't win. Yeah, I made some wagers for me and my family. None of us won.
Yeah, well, when the favorite wins.
That's the thing, is that, I didn't want to bet on the favorite. I had listened to Dr. Kev's analysis of the Kentucky Derby, and he didn't feel that it was a good wager, right? Even though he had a very good chance of winning, the odds that he went out, the American Pharaoh, the odds he went off at, I think it was about 5-2, just didn't justify making a wager.
Yeah. I wonder, so who, as far as handicapping, I didn't hear his whole thing. Who did he pick to win?
He actually made some win bets on several horses that he chose, but he also backed himself up with an exacta that included American Pharaoh and the number 10 horse, who did come in second. Okay. So he did win won one exacta, so that his overall he won a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Good, very good.
Yep. All right, one final call from Dan.
Hey guys, my name is Dan. I live in Delaware right now. I've been listening to this podcast for over a year. And I was listening to last week's episode when the guy was talking about Parma, and it just made me think of a story I had. Me and another friend would go to the casino once a month for a weekend, and we strictly play poker. We don't play table games. But I was 27 years old at the time. I didn't have much money, and I probably went with $500, and I bought into a 1-2 poker game. And apparently when I took the money out of my front pocket, my whole lot of money fell out. So I dropped all my money on the floors. I dropped $400 on the floor, had $100 on the poker table. I ended up losing the $100 on the poker table, and after I got up, I was going to buy back in, and I realized my money was missing. And this was the first night of the 3-day weekend, and I almost just broke down and cried. I was like, man, I'm stuck in there. I'll be sitting in the room for the next 2 days doing nothing. And, I almost didn't even ask. I was like, there's no way someone turned the money in. If I found $400, there's no way someone turned it in. So, F it. And so, just coincidentally, I was like, let me just ask. So I asked the poker room manager if anyone had turned in $400 cash. And she was like, you know what? I did. I found it. I brought it to the security room. You have to go there. They'll check the cameras, make sure it's yours, blah, blah, blah. And they did. I went to the security office. They gave me the money. It was in an envelope. And obviously I tipped the floor boss. I tipped the security guard. And the next month when we went up there, I was walking and I found $1,300, $1,000 chip and 3 $100 chips just sitting on the floor. And it was next to a electrical wheelchair kind of thing, like a little scooter thing. And I thought it was the person whose scooter it was. I thought his money was. It was just the way it was sitting right next to it. And so I called over the floor boss and I said, look, I found this on the floor. This is where it was. And it turned out that it was the older gentleman whose scooter was his money. So we went around, came around. Someone turned in my money. The next month I found money on the ground and turned it in to them. And everybody feels good about themselves. I just thought it'd be cool to tell you that story. I thought it'd be cool if I ended up on the podcast. I hope I don't sound dumb. You guys have a great podcast, man. I wait for every other Thursday. I check it, listen to your guys when I'm driving, and good luck at the tables. Good luck for me. Take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Dan. What a great story.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually makes me feel good that there's some good people left in the world.
We've got good listeners.
Yeah, well, first of all, the casino boss finding that and sending him to get it.
Yeah.
And then him giving the guy the $1,300 chips. I have to admit, there are not too many people that would do that.
No, and especially, the fact that it's an older gentleman in a scooter who that might, mean a lot to him, $1,300.
Sure, right. That might be all of his money.
Maybe it was your dad.
Yeah, really.
It could have been. Maybe it was your dad that actually dropped it.
You know what's funny is I'm always lecturing my dad about, he'll just be putting chips in his pocket and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, you can just bend over and lose that. He wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of karma is going to pay off.
Yep.
Down the road, guaranteed that Dan will hit a big jackpot.
Yep.
I guarantee it. Guaranteed.
Great. Hey, don't forget to send us questions that you'd like to ask our dealers for our Ask a Dealer segment. We'd like to do that again real soon. Seems to have been a popular segment. If you've got any questions that you'd like a dealer to answer, maybe a question that a dealer wouldn't answer in a casino environment for fear of repercussions, right?
Yeah,
there may be his
That's
or her
why
boss is
I want a
listening.
juicy question. I mean, some real dirt, something that, oh my God, I can't really say this in the casino. But since nobody knows who I am, I'm going to tell this story.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear.
Email us, call our voicemail hotline, whatever you want to do with your Ask a Dealer questions. So we're going to talk about Baccarat tonight. We've mentioned it in the past, just in passing, but we've never really talked about the game and the mechanics of it. And
well, we're not
everything.
Baccarat players.
No, we don't play it.
We have played it.
We have played it, but we don't play it very regularly. I think just because it's not as fast as craps, we're just, craps junkies, what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But there are some definite reasons for playing Baccarat. One is that the house edge is low.
Right.
In fact, either of the wagers that you can make, it's a lower house edge than the pass line or even the don't pass on the craps table.
Well, that's why the high rollers play.
Sure, yeah, that's a good reason why. So let's talk about it. First, there are several different variations of Baccarat, but the version we're going to be talking about is Punto Banco, which is basically the game they play all over the United States and most other countries too.
Yeah, what does Punto Banco mean?
So Punto means player, and Banco means bank.
So player bank.
Mm-hmm. This is a card game that is usually dealt from a shoe anywhere from 4 to 8 decks. And there are only 2 hands dealt in Baccarat, the player and the banker. The names are a little confusing because when you play Baccarat, you can bet on player or banker. It's not like the player hand belongs to all the players,
right?
And the banker hand belongs to the house.
No.
It's not that way, right?
It's like you're picking red or black.
It's kind of like that, yeah. And it's not like each player at the table gets his or her own hand either.
Yeah, right. There's one hand.
There's just a player hand and a banker hand,
right?
In Baccarat.
Yeah, they could just call it red or black, and either you're going to play the red or the black.
Yep, exactly, right. Now, the way that you determine the value of a hand, you add up all the cards in the hand. Now, deuce through 9 are worth face value in points. So 5's worth 5 points, 7's worth 7 points, etc. 10s and all face cards, jacks, queens, and kings, have a value of 0 points. And aces are worth 1 point. Okay? You add up all of the cards in the hand, and you come up with a point total, and then you only use the ones digit from that total to determine the value of the hand.
So if you go over 10, you just use the second digit. So a 12 is a 2.
Right, exactly. So yeah, if it's over 10, you subtract 10 and you just look at that second digit.
10 is a 0,
Yeah.
11 is a 1, 12
Right,
is a 2.
exactly. So as an example, if you had an ace and a 4, that's 5, right? A 1 and 4 equals 5. If you have an 8 and a 7, that is also a 5 because 8 plus 7 is 15, but you only look at that second digit. Right, exactly. So based on this, the highest possible value in Baccarat for a hand is 9 and the lowest is 0. You could have a hand of 0. So before the cards are dealt, each player bets on either player or banker. You bet on which hand is going to have the higher value, right? Mm-hmm. You'll win even money if the hand you bet on wins. But if you win when playing the banker hand, you have to pay 5% commission. And the reason is because just when you go through the mechanics of the game, the banker actually has an edge. So they charge you a 5% commission if you bet on banker. Okay, so here's how the game works. You make the bet either on player or banker. Then 2 cards are dealt face up to each hand. So to start, the player hand and the banker hand each have 2 cards. if either the player or banker has a value of 8 or 9, which are known as naturals, 8 and 9 are known as naturals, the coup is over. That's another name for the hand of Baccarat, a coup. C-O-U-P, like a coup d'etat.
Okay, very good.
So losing bets are collected and winning bets are paid.
So if one has an 8, one has a 9, then the 9 wins?
Good question. Yeah, they're both called naturals, but the 9 wins. Yeah, whoever has the higher value, that's the winning hand. Exactly. Right. Yep. Okay, that's the simple situation. 9 or 8 was dealt right away. Hand
what
over,
if it's a tie? What if they both have 8?
So if it's a tie, it's a tie. That's a push.
And we start over.
We start over. You don't lose or win your hand.
So 2 8s or 2 9s, a tie.
Yeah, any time there's a tie between the banker and the player, your bet is a push. Okay. There is a separate side bet on the table where you can bet on a tie.
All right.
That pays 8 to 1.
Okay.
That's a separate bet. You don't have to make it.
And that tie doesn't have to be 8 and 9.
Doesn't have to be any 2 5s or 2 4s,
whatever.
Right. Okay. So now, if the 2 cards come out for each hand, if neither the banker nor the player has an 8 or a 9, then each hand draws or doesn't draw a third card based on a set of rules that are hard and fast, written in stone, called the tableau. Okay. And there's only one draw, either 0 or 1 draw. It's not like you can keep hitting like in blackjack.
Right. Okay.
So the player goes first. If the player has an initial total of anywhere from 0 to 5, he draws a third card. Okay. If he has an initial total of 6 or 7, he stands. And when I say he, again, this is just the rule. The dealer at the table is going to be taking the draw.
Right.
No matter what.
Right. You're basically the actual player. Me, I'm doing nothing.
You're doing nothing. You're just watching what happens.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So that's it. 0 through 5, they take a card. 6 or 7, they stand. And of course, if there's already been an 8 or a 9, we wouldn't even have gotten to this point.
Right.
Okay. Then it's the banker's turn. Now, whether or not the banker takes a third card is just too complicated to talk about on a podcast. I'd just be sitting here reading off rules, and it's not good for radio. There are a bunch of rules. I will post a link to the rules for when the banker takes a third card, because it's based on what the banker's current total is, and it's based on
what the player has.
On what the player's third card was.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So it's not like
their total.
No, it's not their total. It's based on the card that they got as their third card. Yes.
So they could have a 0 and then say they draw a 6. They've got 6 total. The bank had like a 4. There's some formula whether they they would have to take another card.
Right. Well, but I mean, here's a better example. Let's say that the player had 4 total for his first 2 cards and drew a 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he has a total of 0.
Right.
Okay. The banker, depending on what the banker's hand is, he might have to take a card. Even though he's guaranteed to win if he were to just stay.
Right. Okay.
But it's based on the player's third card, right?
Okay.
So, and that's what kind of makes the game a little complicated. But if you go to a table, especially one of these mini Baccarat tables, they should have the rule, the tableau out there, all the rules for all the hits and everything.
Right.
And if they don't have it on the felt, they should have at least a card that you can look at. But again, you don't have to make any of these decisions. These are just all automatic.
Yeah.
Right?
You just have to make sure the dealer made the right.
That's true. Once you know the game, check on them, make sure that they're doing it right.
Yeah.
And then again, at the end of the hand, you just add up everything. Whichever hand has the higher value is the winning hand. So if you bet on player and player wins, you win.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, pretty simple. I mean, as far as us playing the game.
Yes.
We put our money down on player or bank and wait to see who wins.
Exactly. Right. Now, we were talking about house edges on this. If you bet on player, the house edge is 1.24%. That's based on an 8-deck shoe.
Okay. Is that typical? There would be 8-deck shoe?
I think so. I think that is pretty typical, yeah. The banker house edge is only 1.06%. That's even after the 5% commission.
Okay.
Right? So, take a look at this. Both of those are lower house edges than the pass line at the craps table. Right. It's actually better if, let's say you play blackjack, but you don't really know basic strategy.
Right.
Maybe you know it a little bit, or, you kind of go on feel. You're better off, just as far as the house edge going, just playing Baccarat.
Right.
Might not be as fun for you. And then the tie bet, like a lot of side bets, is terrible. That's a 14% house edge.
Sure. Well, that's where they make their money.
Yeah. I heard that in the United Kingdom, I think some tables, it's 9-1.
Okay.
And then it drops down to like 4%, something like that. So you can see how
wow.
bad 8-1 is, but that's it. The other thing is, Baccarat kind of has a reputation of being a high roller game.
You see it a lot in the high limit room.
High limit rooms. But it's kind of made its way into other parts of the casino in these mini Baccarat tables. They have mini and midi Baccarat. They're both smaller tables.
Right.
Usually
right.
just one dealer, whereas some of the big Baccarat tables in the high limit rooms have two. That there's a dealer with the chips and then another guy
Right.
handling the cards and that kind of thing.
I got two questions then
Yeah.
about Baccarat.
All right.
Number one, so is this Nines Up a derivative of Baccarat?
Yeah, sure. I would say, yeah,
'Cause
Nines Up, yeah.
It's a similar game.
Yeah. Did we talk about Nines Up years ago? It was a game that was offered at Harrah's Las Vegas for a very short period of time.
Yeah, I don't know if we did. We should talk about that one day.
I think we may have.
It's a fun game to play at home.
We won't talk about it now. I think we talked about it before, but
Okay.
definitely.
It's a fun game to play at your house.
Yeah.
And then my other question is, what's the deal with people who track the bank player wins?
Well, it's kind of like tracking on a roulette table. It doesn't give you a lot of information. If you're just looking at who won, banker or player, it really doesn't give you a lot of information. And apparently you can't really card count like you can in blackjack to get any kind of advantage. It's just not the same.
Right.
So you might be able to card count against some of the exotic side bets that they have, because some tables, especially these mini Baccarat tables, they have, side bets for other things,
For other things, right. Well, yeah, because you see people, the casino actually has pre-printed out cards that people will take and they'll check off, player one, bank, player.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
No, it's as worthless as keeping track of, red and black on a roulette table.
Yeah, I just don't, but you see people doing that all the time.
Yeah, I know, but you see a lot of people doing stuff like that in the casino. This is nothing new.
They should give it to us at craps. 4 again. Can you believe that? 4 came up again.
That's right. I'm on the don't.
Yeah.
10 was rolled. No action on that 10. Too many 10s. That's just smart
crazy.
gambling. Yeah. So anyway, you do have to pay a 5% commission on these tables. They have spots, a little section of the table close to the dealer, the boxes representing each of the players at the table. And when a player bets on the banker's hand, the dealer will actually keep track of how much that player owes in commission. They don't have to pay it right away, but they do keep track in this little square. And then once the shoe is done, or once a player leaves the table, then they settle up on the commission. Or the player can do it anytime they want, too. If they just want, hey, I want to get my commission paid
Could
right now.
I just do it like in 2060? February 7th, 2060? That's what I'd like to pay off.
No, again, if you leave the table or at the end of a shoe. So if you think you're going to be at the table on the same shoe for another 45 years, go for it. Try it. Yeah.
I'd like that. Well, they probably do that to keep the game moving, right? Can you imagine?
Sure, yeah, that helps.
Paying
definitely.
collections
Right,
all the
exactly.
time? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. All right. Did we completely mess up the rules of Baccarat? Are we going to get an angry email saying, well, you got it completely wrong. That's not how the game's played at all?
Could be. That could happen.
Very possible.
Very possible.
Yeah.
We don't play enough Baccarat. So if there is something we missed, let us know.
Yep.
We'll correct it.
We absolutely
For the people who, don't play Baccarat and could care less, really.
Exactly. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. I update those listings every Wednesday using a program I wrote myself to search through all the raw American TV data. Just go to our webpage, youcanbetonthat.com, and click on the link at the top that says TV listings. Oh, and the Preakness is coming up this weekend, too.
This weekend,
right, exactly.
Right.
I noticed that in my listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 951-2-WAGERS. Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. Also, follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat. We always tweet when we're in a casino or on our way to a casino, and we'd love to meet up with you. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. And finally, head on over to iTunes and write a review on us. When you do, it helps us get new listeners. Take us home, Dr. Mike.
Well, I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention Deflategate.
All right.
because we talk about wagering. We've talked about sports wagering and stuff.
Yep.
And this is just another example of the reasons I don't like to bet on sports.
Yeah.
There is a lot of shadiness to it.
Yeah.
It's sad because it's sports. I love sports and everything. I mean, I really love sports. I'm a huge sports fan of all sports. But it seems like in every sport there's something. I mean, there's basketball refs who are cheating. There's football players. And I'm not saying Tom Brady is, the worst person in the world.
Sure.
But there was a little bit of shadiness going on.
Well,
there.
now, am I in the minority here? Because it seems like I am when I watch TV and what have you. I'm happy with this 4-game suspension.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying it's too much, and he probably won't serve any of it. They'll probably wipe it out. But I'm thinking, yeah, at least that.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Okay.
I was thinking a year.
Yeah.
No, really.
There would have been an uproar over that, though. There would have been.
Well, I'll tell you what. Sean, God, I'm not going to be able to come with his last name. The coach of the New Orleans Saints. Remember they were having players that they were putting like a bounty, like
Bounty Gate, yeah,
right, Bounty Gate and all that. They suspended him for a year.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think they had more evidence in that case.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and that
is a lot
evidence,
worse.
And that is, people get hurt and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is something that really affected the game. And you're naive if you think that Tom Brady just did this in 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, right.
I mean, this has been going on for a long time.
Hey, look, he was the one who fought for visiting teams being able to bring their own balls. Yeah.
Right. And also, I mean, they have the lowest fumble rate of any team in the league. And I mean, there were a lot of things here. So it just gets me. I just hate that sports gets tainted like that.
Well, it is a shame.
I know it does. There's soccer refs who do weird things. There's been soccer problems, right? I mean, has there been a sport where there hasn't been a problem?
Well, just look
horse racing certainly has theirs.
Yeah, look at the big fight here recently, right? Pacquiao didn't reveal his shoulder injury, right? Supposedly.
Right.
Oh, come on. Geez.
Oh, God. That's a terrible thing, actually, too, because if a guy's betting on that, right?
Sure.
And, you're betting on Pacquiao, and then afterwards, he had a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
Well, boy, I'd want my money back.
Yep, I know.
So anyway, it's just sad that we hear this, and I just wanted to mention it because it's been bugging me all week.
All right.
So, and I don't like New England anyway. So.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
So
we're Chargers fans, and they seem to be
they
a thorn
seem
in
to
our
be
side.
our nemesis.
Yeah.
So I'm happy if he's out for a while.
Okay. All right. Thanks for listening.
Good night.